Hello again, this is Nilwork, and through this video I'll be giving you an overview of the soon-to-be-released Marksmen DLC and what it'll bring to Arma 3. From wonderfully modeled new weapons and attachments, to useful mechanics, improvements, and other additions, Marksmen aims at bettering yet more core aspects of Arma 3's infantry gameplay. So, let's get to it. With Helicopters DLC came firing from vehicles, a now native feature which had previously been heavily sought after by the community since several earlier installments of the game. With Marksman, what it plans to bring to the table is no exception in terms of importance. Weapon resting, weapon deployment, and bipod deployment. Three splendid little features that'll have a big and positive impact on the future of infantry gameplay, adding more depth to engagements. These, coupled with the new recoil mechanics and audio improvements, aim to create memorable and meaningful encounters in Arma 3. With weapon resting, you now have a completely intuitive, yet passive stability mechanic for your weapon. There's noticeable difference in the handling of rested and non-rested weapons. Resting is the only way to stabilize your weapon that doesn't require a keybind. Weapons automatically detect suitable areas to gain the rested effect from when usable geometry of either physics-based objects or objects native to a given terrain are under your weapon. Weapon resting also reduces muzzle climb and improves overall stability, but only while your weapon is kept close to a suitable stabilizing area. Weapon deployment works the same way as resting does, as it still has to recognize an area able to deploy your weapon on. Weapon deployment gives you more stability while shooting your weapon at the cost of radius of fire, while it attaches you to the selected surface until you're ready to move. Weapon deployment does use a keybind, and requires more commitment to utilize due to the limited fire radius. Last but not least, bipods offer the most stability out of all the stabilizing mechanics and also requires a keybind to use. They still require a level of commitment as they still attach you to a suitable surface like weapon deployment, and therefore limits your firing radius. Bipods are also a modular item like IR designators and flashlights. It should be noted that pistols can only be rested, and some older weapons such as the Zephyr and M320 have permanently attached bipods. And now, let's move on to the hardware of this DLC. 7 new weapons in total, along with 2 new varied scopes and 8 new bipods have been added with amazing detail and sound, with 5 of them being rifles and the other 2 being medium machine guns. First up, the ASP-1 Kier with its built-in suppressor, 12.7 by 54mm round and 10 round magazine was inspired by the VSS and VKS weapons. Next up, the Cyrus. It fires a 9.3 by 64mm round from its 10 round magazine and was inspired by the Dragunov and Sega. Here we have the Mar-10. It fires a 338 Lapua Magnum round from another 10 round magazine, and its design was derived from the Bad News rifle from Noreen. Next, the Mark I EMR. It fires a 7.62 by 51mm round with a 20 round magazine, with its design being inspired by the Sig Sauer 5.56. Lastly for the rifles is the Mark XIV, with the same 7.62 by 51mm round and its 20 round magazine. Its classic design was derived from the M14. The Navid, which fires a 9.3 by 64mm round from a 150 round belt, and was inspired by the H&K 121. And lastly, the SPMG. It fires the 338 Norma Magnum round from a 130 round belt. Its design is based off the LWMMG by General Dynamics. Also, new 9.3 and 338 silencers have been added as well, and can be attached to any weapon with the respective caliber. Before Marksman, The sounds of Arma 3 did the job when it came to letting the player know what was happening in the world around them. Now, with the improvements coming with Marksman, players can expect much more rich and ear-catching audio from its changes and additions, offering better connection between you and the environment.
Enemy fire! Move up.
New clothing options have also been made available in Marksman in the form of the new full ghillie suits for arid, lush, and semi-arid environments, as well as the new carrier vests modeled after the IOTV or Improved Outer Tactical Vest. Nearing the end, we now have updated designator models, which leaves us with 2 new remote laser designators, which are deployed like any static asset to spot and lace targets from the safety of a distant position. Besides the welcomed improvements to AI, new firing drills and showcases, every vehicle and their different aspects will now be available to try in the new virtual garage. Whether or not you have any given DLC, you'll still be able to test out every piece of content Arma 3 has to offer in either Virtual Arsenal or Virtual Garage. That about wraps up this overview of the upcoming Marksmen DLC and the features that are coming along with it. I'd like to state that, like the Helicopter DLC, you should really only purchase this DLC if you're into the premium content launching with Marksman, or if you just want to further your support for the game and the developers alike. The premium content package of this DLC includes all 7 of the new weapons, the 2 new scopes, the new ghillie suits, and the new remote designators. Everything else discussed here comes as a free platform update. And with that being said, as always, thanks for watching. This is Norik, signing out.